Welcome to the Omega Odyssey. In this series, I will be climbing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega ranked ladder, starting all the way from the lowest rank of Bronze all the way to the highest rank of Omega. However, to give myself more of a challenge, the goal of this series is not Omega rank itself, but rather top 10 on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega TCG leaderboards. If I cannot achieve that for the NAWCQ Nationals taking place in July, the challenge will be considered failed, and I must endure a punishment that will be voted on by the members of our Discord. Make sure to tune in every week for a new episode. Previously. Oh boy. What the fuck? Let's see if he has a judgment in the back row here. Yeah, if they normal summon a Hydra here, we're probably screwed. We'll chain the Fua here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and drop the Fualos here. Yeah, that's really frustrating. They had two Lancias. Opening GWC 06 a lot today. Alright, going first. Not a bad hand. The goal for episode 3 is to make it to Platinum, and hopefully for episode 4 we can then go all the way to Diamond. Starting off with a Fualos, honestly not too terrible. Ghost Bell on Underground. I think I'm just gonna look at his hand here. Yeah, we'll get rid of this Ghost Ogre. Let's go normal summon backup. We'll discard our Dormouse. We'll use Durstorm on Dormouse. They can chain their Baldrake here, but even if they do, it's fine. We still get our Mouse effect. Looks like we got the first game. Hand is looking decent. Engraver, that's fine. We'll just answer it with our Bystials. Thrust. I think I will just Ash this. Fortunately, they hard drew Sanctum. Unfortunately, Lubellion and Chaos Angel is still game anyway. Oh, hand's actually not very good. We have Dupe Undergrounds, and it's our only starter. I have Perulia. That's not the worst in this situation. Oh, we're just hoping that they don't have another Charmy or a Lancia. Okay, apparently they don't have a Lancia. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna do something a bit unorthodox. I'm gonna go for the cat here. All right, let's see what Chessie gets us. We're going to ask Chessie. Not the worst because it turns on our talents. It's Connector and Aqua Dolphin. So we for sure take away the Tract here. Oh, you know what? The Bomber Dragon here actually would be crazy because we can trigger the Bomber Dragon at least 3 times. And they are playing Link bullshit, so... Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. And see if they can deal with... Oh, they drew Nibiru. Go figure, that is the one draw they got. Again, we can summon this March Hare by banishing our Rabbit, summon our Rabbit back, and then we can still end on Cryptor. I think that's worth giving our opponent one more draw. Yeah, let's do it. I really don't like giving our opponent more draws, but I think we do kind of need to here. Our MTP is Engrave, so... It would be nice if we have Cryptor in rotation for sure. They're just going to normal summon Aqua Dolphin. Discard the Connector. We'll go ahead and use the Druisworm here. I'm not going to banish Binder yet because I want to use Binder in conjunction with GWC. So let's go ahead and just banish Hare. That way we have the most flexible setup possible. If they go for Closed Moon here. We can just banish the Closed Moon. Let's go ahead and go 06. So we're going to do a little bit of a shuffle here. Binder is going to banish our 07, banish 07 and White Rabbit. So we're going to trigger the White Rabbit here to special. Then we're going to chain our Cryptor, shuffle back our MTP 07. They're going to Ogre Cryptor. That's fine with us. Cryptor can always just come back. And then Rabbit Whale special. And then since the MTP got shuffled back, we can use Rabbit to reset the MTP. And our opponent is left with one card in their hand. They have to play through a Impulse and an MTP 07. Can't just Impulse the Druiswarm here and that should be lights out. Cool, easy win. Going second this time. Impulse and Droll not too bad. I do have to be careful because if I use Impulse first, my Droll is offline. Although our opponent is just passing. Well, we have 2 Impulses, so we'll go ahead and set 1. Imperm for the White Rabbit. That is A-okay with us. And our opponent's going to surrender. So we didn't really see what our opponent is on. Good on them for concealing information. It is Memento. The issue is they have so many cards they can chain to dodge Imperm. Bone Party, Memento Fusion, or the Goblin Bikers Grand Breakout, I think. So Anguish is a really dangerous place to Imperm. I think I'll hold it for something that can't dodge Imperm. They add the horse here. We can at least Imperm the horse on summon. We're going to Imperm it on summon so that they can't dodge it with something like Bone Party or the Fusion. They do have the Grand Breakout, so it was right to not Imperm the Anguish there. It's a great place to Fuelos for us. Yeah, I think we'll march here now, since it seems like they're going to go Combined Creation with the Cranium Burst and Past. So they can only use Cranium Burst once per chain. So let's go Little Knight. Alright, we'll go Little Knight. And I think we're going to target the Combined Creation. If they chain the Cranium Burst, we chain Little Knight, target herself and the Combined Creation again. And as long as we can get the Combined Creation out of this board state, we should be able to handle the rest of whatever he has. They're going to chain Memento Fusion. So at least that still gets their Combined Creation off the field. Go for Twin-Headed again. So I'm going to go for the Underground here. We're going to try to banish Mirror. Mirror banish our cat. They have Judgment. Oh, man, that Creation King is annoying. I think we have to go Battle Phase here. Oh, we have to attack the Creation King. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and we must attack? Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I did not realize Cranium Burst is basically Nightmare Pain. Yeah, that's our loss. Hand can get there, but we will have to see what this Chessie draws. If it draws at all. We don't have Lancia. Well, we can Chain March here to at least establish a couple more bodies. Yeah, unfortunately, this is looking like just a Ransom Mirror pass. We could summon this wizard, but I honestly don't really want to play into Nibiru here. I'm going to Impermanence the Ransom. Now I might have to, unfortunately, because if we just pass on Ransom Impulse, I think that will probably not be enough against Memento. So we have to just take the chance he doesn't have Nibiru. I think we'll go for the Splash here. Let's go for the Binder. Binder will set GWC. And our choices are to make Firewall or to make Bomber Dragon. If it wasn't Memento, I would go for Bomber Dragon here, but since Memento benefits off their own cards being destroyed so much, I think we definitely want to go for the Firewall here. Starting with Anguish. Add the Horse. Oh, I think we might just flip our GWC 06 here, so that when we impulse their horse, the horse gets destroyed and sent to grave. This field spell only triggers if a monster you control is destroyed. Alternatively, we can let the horse go and then just reserve impulse for something like a Memento Fusion or a Bone Party. I think I actually like that better. Yeah, let's use the MTP to banish the horse here. They're just gonna go for Typhon. That means their turn is ending, which is great news for us because we can just Firewall bounce this Typhon. And there we go. Nice. Going second again. We're gonna have to hope this Droll is good enough. This is one of the worst decks to use Droll against, unfortunately. I mean, we're not going to use Droll anywhere else, so we might as well do it now. They're still going to call by the grave the Droll. I guess it did actually matter to their hand. Alright, well, this is looking pretty grim. We can try and draw with Alir here, but honestly, it might not be worth giving away the information because since we're on mostly hand traps and not board breakers, there's not a lot of cards we can draw off the top to help break this board. I think I'm just going to concede and conceal the information here. Pretty decent hand. Our opponent's going to Perulia us. No, this hand can still play around Perulia, so we'll let the Perulia go in case they have a Fuelos or something. I think it should be okay, yeah. We haven't used our normal summon yet, so we can normal summon the backup and backup search March Hare to use on our opponent's turn. And then we can make Masquerena. Yeah, we'll go for backup here. We're going to Ash us. I think we're pretty okay with that. Like, we can get Hare with MTP07 anyway. Also, if we called by the Ash, it turns off the Ash in our own hand. We'll just make the Masquerena here. If we give our opponent just one more draw, though, we can probably just full combo them. I'm actually just going to give them one more draw with Wizard. Yeah, you know what? Let's try out the Bomber Dragon. Feather Duster. Oh, that is so devastating. We're gonna have to fire everything. Go ahead and add the March Hare, and we'll banish the Nibiru. I think we're not gonna use the Binder just yet. We can always trigger Binder later. Impermanence target Binder. Why would they do that? They're going to go Engraver here. No, I'll hold for the Tract. That way, in case they already have Tract in hand. Going to go for the Man with the Mark. Yeah, I think we definitely have to Ash that. Yeah, I do think we go for this now. That is, not gonna lie, a very strong draw off the top. Alright, game 3. Alright, as they say, time for that all-important game 3. Some Murray, we're going to Fuelos here. Called by. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I think I am forced to Ash this Requiem, unfortunately, since the Fuelos got stopped. We're gonna go for Thrust for Sanctum. We can Impulse the Sanctum. It's not the biggest deal. We just hope that the last two cards aren't Odeon Engine for them. Yep, setting Sanctum. Okay, looks like they did not have Man with the Mark. That's good at least. They're going to Sanctum. Let's hope there's not a Solemn Judgment back there. It is Statue of Anguish Pattern. So they flipped this Anguish Pattern early, which probably means that's probably one of the Apopus traps. Nice, another win. Lost the rock, paper, scissors again. Pretty unfortunate day today, but... Oh So if he impermanents the Neptibus here and Ash the Shadow Squad, it would put them on having an extender in hand. It just feels so bad to trade 2 hand traps for 1 card. Alternatively, we can let the Neptibus resolve, Ash the Shadow Squad. Neptibus will probably search for Abyss Shrine, and then Abyss Shrine can tribute Neptibus to summon from deck. Neptibus will summon back the Shadow Squad. I feel like at that point, the impermanence is not going to matter, so we just have to hope that they don't have an extender here. They had Called by the Grave. Yeah, let's just go to the next one. Hand is okay enough. Yeah, let's lead with the Jessica. Finish the 07. Oh, this draw might be pretty bad. I think we're gonna let that go. It really sucks that the I Meet You is dead now. It's like shutting off Dragoons for the entire turn, like, can be like just game winning against that deck. We're gonna try to make the best of what we can under draw. Yeah, we definitely should have gone for Bomber or Firewall there. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Go for Poseidra. Okay, so a nice interaction with Poseidra at least is if we change GWC here and we summon Binder. Whatever they send for cost off the Poseidra, we can banish immediately so that it can't trigger. They're going to send Dragoon. Now this is a really tough choice. So if I Binder, banish the Dragoons now, the Dragoons won't trigger, and then I can Called by the Grave the Shadow Squad so that the Shadow Squad doesn't resolve. I could also let the Shadow Squad go, and then Called by the Dragoon so that he can't use Dragoons at all for the rest of the turn. But then the Shadow Squad would probably let him get to Neptibus or Pipe. Neptibus would be hard to deal with because Neptibus sends from deck for cost. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go after the Dragoons here. And then we're also gonna Called by the Shadow Squad. Okay, nice. That was enough, thankfully. Alright, we've sided in pretty much every single hand trap we have. Let's hope it's enough. We have Ash, Droll, and Impulse. Pike to add. Okay, we'll Droll him after. Our priority is to get Droll to resolve, because I must use this Droll before I use this Impulse, otherwise my Droll is turned off. Yeah, I think we'll Ash the Shadow Squad here. Might get like a Call Tie out of them. Okay, we got a Cross out of them. That's good, because now we can resolve our Droll. Go for Neptibus. Shrine, tribute Neptibus. Ah, this is tough. So I can either Impulse the Shrine, or I can Impulse the Neptibus. I think we need to keep holding, just see where they go with this. Coelacanth. Okay, I think it was good to hold the Impulse then. Yeah, we will Impulse the Coelacanth. Unfortunately, it won't destroy. So they can still go Shadow Squad to make everything into a 7. Okay, looks like that last card in their hand wasn't a water, otherwise they probably would have done that. They do have a Shrine draw here. Wow, this is possibly the best 3-card hand we could have. Let's go for Dormouse. It's Lancia. Okay, well thankfully we have the backup, so we do have plays even under Lancia, but we have to tread very carefully here. I really don't want to discard this Martyr, but we really don't have a choice. I have to think really hard about this one. Let's go for the Wizard now. What I want to do is I want to make Ransom, because Ransom actually lets us clear the full board, this whole board. Since the Coelacanth will be at 2200 attack, Ransom can attack over it. This Pike will be at 800 attack, we can attack over it. And then this Shadow Squad becomes 0 defense. So let's link these two away for the Splash. And then Splash for Dormouse. And then we can go for Ransom here. Ransom will search for a copy of Mirror, Lingaripa over the Shadow Squad, Backup over the Pike, Ransom over the Coelacanth, main phase 2. Let's go for the Binder here. I think Binder gives us the... Oh, we don't have GWC. It's sided out. Okay, we should still be okay though. Nice! 63 rating. Yeah, that was a nerve-wracking one. Holy crap. Alright, next one. Not a bad hand. It is the Mirror Match. See if the Fuego sticks here. Got Called by the Grave. Unfortunate. Draw wasn't great in the Mirror, but this is just about the only place we can use it, so we might as well. It'll at least stop them from going the Wicked lines, unless they already have backup in hand. This Ash is probably going to be held for MTP on our turn. Oh, they're not even making Binder. It's a very weird board for sure. So we know they have March Hare in hand. We know this set behind Red Ransom is MTP. Okay, let's see what Allure gets us. We're going to Accode, negate the Allure. That's an interesting choice. It depends on what that other set is. We're gonna go for the Gold Sark here. We do have Ash to counter the MTP, but if they have like an Impulse as their other set, we're probably gonna go next. And we're going to Ash it. Hopefully that's enough. It's a mirror, okay. I think we can still manage. Interesting. So we know their hand is Hair plus Field Spell. They just have one other card. Well, I guess we hope the last card is not anything. And we'll just go battle. There we go, game 1 down. Alright, we have Lancia and Impulse, not bad. We are missing a true starter, but we do have backup at bare minimum. See if they have the Cold By or Crossout. They do not. See if they have the backup. They do already have the backup. Yeah, I think we for sure just stop the backup here. There's very few ways they can continue extending. Alright, that's exactly what we needed actually. So we'll set the talents as a bluff. We'll summon the rabbit. So we know their hand is backup plus 3 cards. If they Ash us, that would be fantastic. Nice. Now we can talents rip their hand, and then if they have nothing, we can just go for backup into access code for lethal. Alright. Oh, they had nothing. Alright, well we take away the March Hare, and that is pretty much going to be GG's. There we go. Nice. Alright, we did win the rock, paper, scissors this time. Hand is looking not too bad, actually. So, let's go ahead and use a lure. They will Ash it. That is completely fine with us. Let's go ahead and set and go for Underground. We're going to Imperm our Dormouse. Yeah, I think I'll chain the MTP here. We'll dodge the Imperm. Yeah, we'll take a copy of Rabbit. If they nib us after the splash, we can use Hair to recover. Yep, exactly like I thought. Banish our Rabbit from grave. A Link Spider would actually be nice here, because then we can go Wicked, but looks like we'll have to make do without it. I don't know if there's an amazing option here. Let's go for Ransom, grab Mirror. Maybe it's worth considering Link Spider, but this is literally the first game Link Spider has come up in all the games that we played so far. Prayers. It is Mitsurugi. Tabakiri. Do we Ash this? Or do we let them get the summon and then draw it? I think we'll let them get the summon and then just draw. Adding Ritual. Draw here. So we know how they have Habakiri and Ritual in hand. We want to Ritual summon from the deck. Yeah, we'll Ash that. Have the ice. Yeah, we for sure just mirrored the ice here. Nice. Game 1 down. Alright, we do have draw. So unless they open Called By or Crossout, that should pretty severely limit what they can do with their turn. They're going to lead Aramasa. Alright. Here comes the Called By or Crossout check. They do have the Called By. I think we let them grab the Ritual Spell and then stop the Ritual Spell. Because if they're just copying the first place list of Providence, then they only play one of the Ritual Spell. So getting it out of rotation is good, right? They had nothing. Probably have a Lancia though. Yep. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Can't use our Fuelos because we impulsed, unfortunately. No reason to stick around. This hand is terrible. I think we just let the Perulia through. Like, can we even combo with this? If we normal summon March Hare, link it to Lingaribo, Druisworm banish March Hare, add March Hare back, other March Hare banish March Hare, summon, then we can make Red Ransom. We can Called By or Ash this Perulia and just hope they have no other hand trap. Or we can just let it go and see if Druisworm Called By Ash gets us there. I don't think I can take the risk of them just having another hand trip. So we're just gonna let that go. Now the Prayers again. No, I think we have to let this go, unfortunately. Our interruptions don't line up very well into Rizio cards. So if they summon like an ice, we have to hope that Ash on the ice is good enough. And if they're adding Ame here, we can always Called By whatever they summon in tribute with Ame. Yeah, we actually just have to Ash this X, hope that's enough. Special summon node. Oh, that is a level 4. That's all they need, really. Yeah, I think it's game over. Maybe I should have tried to combo last turn by ashing the Perulia. Yeah, it really sucks that the loss is just because we bricked. Yeah, we get to at least Called By the Saji. But Even just dealing with Detonator will be tough here. Oh well. It is what it is. Imperm Droll. Not too bad. It is White Forest. Okay, well, Droll should be able to do most of the heavy lifting here, assuming they don't have Called Bible Cross out. Go for the Droll. Looks like they're just going to set and pass. Alright, let's go ahead and use Hair here. Oh, actually, maybe it was better to not Hair during our opponent's turn. Like, starting with normal Chessie, Banish Hair to draw 2 is, like, pretty strong, too. No, they're just gonna give us game 1. Nice. Alright, Perilia's not bad here. We're going to go Wanted, that's fine. Oh, Perilia during the standby here. Have an Ash, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we will Ash the Murcielago. Oh, alright. Easy game. Nice. Alright, going first. Hand is looking pretty good. Hopefully they Ash this. That would be great. Nice. Exactly what we wanted. Let's go look at their hand. Mitsurugi again. Although this one looks like it's pure. Because Mitsurugi Raizo definitely would have played Dear Servant. That's interesting. You can only activate one Dear Servant per turn. Unfortunately, that means if we negate it with Allied Code Talker, they can just activate a second Nadir. Well, I guess if we take away one of the Nadirs, we can Allied Code negate the other, and then their 2 ritual spells are basically dead. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, the 2 ritual spells are dead anyway, so we don't really need to take those away. And since we now know our opponent has no Nibiru, we can basically combo as greedily as we want to. Nice, game 1 down. Okay. Sucks to draw MTP, but let's see if the Fool of List resolves. It does. Nice. Alright, well, just hope for a starter off the top. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. Oh no. This hand does nothing. Oh man, it always sucks to lose to Bricking. Yeah, unfortunately that is going to be a loss. Sometimes you just brick, it happens. Going second here, do have the Foolos, not too bad. Vanquish Soul. Yeah, I think we'll Ash the Raisin here. And on Resolution, we're going to Foolos. Oh, they're gonna add from Graveyard to hand. Okay, that does get punished by the Magnamut. And then we can just Dominus Impulse their Rock next turn when they go Rock to summon Raisin from hand. We're going to Ash the Magnamut, that is fine with us. Okay. Not a starter, but cat will do. Nice, game 1 down. No starters again. We have Fenrir. We're not going to imperm the Raisin because then if they have Borg or Caesar in hand, they can dodge. We will drill them after them. Usually against Vanquish Soul, you just want to use imperm on Rock, since Rock can't dodge by using the bigger Vanquish Soul monsters. So if we just imperm the Rock on our turn, then they won't be able to get Raisin out of their hand. And Rock is main phase only. So we can just fire the imperm during draw phase. Hand is terrible. That is so bad. Okay, we finally have a half decent hand. Let's go normal rabbit. We have Fuelos. We will ash that, see if they have something else. They do not. Go ahead and set the 07 here. Yep, they do have the Nibiru. Yeah, we'll chain the 07 here. Banish our rabbit. Nice. Lost the die roll again. This hand is pretty yikes. 2 Allirs but no darks. We're gonna have to hope this Fuelos actually draws us into something. This is gonna put me in a really weird spot. I can only pick between Drool or Fua. The problem is I don't think this hand can even deal with the White Forest half board. Yeah, unfortunately I think Fuelos is probably too slow here. They have Called By for draw. Oh, Fuelos is not a bad backup option. Okay, well, we have to see if backup resolves first, so let's go. Nice, game 1 down. This is not great. We only have an impulse, and we can't use it here because they don't control any cards. Yeah, we are just gonna go to the next one. Okay, hand is not bad. This AI Michu is again redundant, but that's not the worst Lancia we've ever faced. At least we do have the backup. Let's go ahead and set the 07. Yeah, let's try to see if we can bait out an Ash. Okay, looks like they didn't have one anyway. Grab a backup. It could be Impermanence. It's Chaos Hunter. Okay, seems a bit overkill. Use Diabellstar effect here. Set Deception. Okay, the good news is they definitely won't do this if they had Fury as their last card. So, okay. Yeah, it'll come down to how strong their card in hand and then the card they're going to draw for turn is. But we'll play that. We'll play those odds. I think even though I can't banish, I will still play the Underground because the attack redirecting effect here is actually relevant to protect my Masquerena. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and play it even though we don't banish. And then we'll set 2. And see what they do as first action. They're going to flip Deception. We're going to go ahead and use Impermanence on the Chaos Hunter. Oh, actually, I'm stupid. I should have set the Impermanence in the same column as the Deception. Would have gone to 2 for 1. Add a March here. Banish the Deception. Oh, I forgot. Wanted can put back a banished one. God, Wanted is such a broken card. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Elzet Send the Curse of Diabell is insanely strong. Yeah, because now the trap can add the spell, and the spell can just straight up summon the new Diabellstar. I mean, this will be tough for sure. Yeah, I think we have to go for the mirror here. Gotta make sure not to set it in my own imperm column. What is this Masquerena doing? We can make Bomber Dragon? That's actually pretty good. But then they do get to get their spell now to summon the new Diabell from deck. I think Bomber probably is our best shot. Let's go these 2. And then we'll use the GWC to trigger our Bomber first. Gain some life points while we're at it, just so we're less likely to die. We have one more trigger for this. We have one more trigger for this bomber. They played it into the impermanence column. That might be the lucky break we needed. I think if they didn't play it there, we probably would have lost. They're just going to pass. Okay, that should be a wrap then. Wow. I mean, I can't even blame my opponent. I've definitely, unfortunately, done that before. Just play a spell into an imperm column. That's really unfortunate for them. But, I mean, yeah, sometimes, you know, you just gotta put your opponent on not misplaying. And they did misplay there by playing into the impermanence column. Okay, so I think that's probably where this episode is going to end. We made some pretty good progress, almost at 700, and we are in platinum now. You know, pretty nice number to end the day on. These Phantasmes never really came up. These IME2s honestly have been like super redundant. Every time I've drawn these, I've already had backup. I might take the Phantasmes out honestly, like for another Meows. I guess let's just put the Feather Duster back in. Alright, well, I guess I'll see everyone in the next episode.